This is Inside Badger Football with head coach Trey Shucker. Inside Badger Football is brought to you by Bell Wealth Services, Welch Funeral Home, Wingfield Properties, Southern Bancorp, Southwest Sporting Goods, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Taylor King Law, Trinity Temple Assembly of God, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone CPA, South Central Connect, Java Primo, Southwest Auto Group, R&T Dixon Enterprises, Ludwig's Bakery, the law offices of Gina White, Patterson Federal Credit Union, Batson Signs, Print Mania, Scott Bird DDS, Sexton Law Firm, Chad Kesterson Shelter Insurance, Chicken Express, Pediatrics Plus, and Providence Veterinary Care. The host of Inside Badger Football is Cooper Darr.
Welcome back to Inside Badger Football with head coach Trey Shucker. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing great. We're getting to play this week for state championship, so that's always the goal of the season, and we're still doing this, and that's awesome.
That's right. It's almost like an early Christmas gift, if you could say. Christmas is not too far, but we're playing for a state championship this Saturday, so it's Christmas coming early, if you ask me. But Coach, we played Southside Batesville this past week, the Southerners. Let's talk about the game a little bit.
Yeah, Batesville Southside was undefeated going into this game, and or Southside Batesville, excuse me. Going into the game, they were undefeated. They've got a 2,000-plus yard rusher. Very explosive on offense. They run the gun tee. They're very branded in that. They play aggressive brand of football on defense as well. Just really tough team. I mean, they really were. I thought our guys met and exceeded that challenge. We challenged them early in the week that they're going to come in here and they're going to try to run over you. They're going to think they're more physical, and you've got to meet that challenge. And we take pride in being a physical football team as well, and playing with technique and being sound. And I thought we did that overall. It wasn't the cleanest game from any side of it, but we did enough to win. We found a way to put points on the board. We found a way to stop their offense, and we won the special teams as well.
That's right. You said that they were a very dominant team coming into the game. Southside averaged 37.9 points per game before playing y'all. Yeah. And your defense, I know we're kind of feeling a little down right now, but we'll get better by Saturday. But the defense held them out of the end zone until the last play of the game. Talk about your defense and just how dominant, just the whole game was for them.
Yeah, I think it starts with our coaches. Yeah. Defense coordinator Chris Kaiser, linebackers coach Ben Chandler, defensive line coach Bobby Evans do a phenomenal job of getting our defense well prepared for any opponent that we play. And it just doesn't start in the game week. It starts in the off season. What we do in spring, what we do in the summer, leading into the season, and the development throughout the season. Those guys do such a great job at getting our guys prepared, and then it goes down to the kids. The kids, being able to implement and install and play technique and play sound, and then bring the aggression and violence that we want to bring defensively. It all just meshes together to get the good product that we have. And but it starts with the coaches, and then the players are very receptive, and we've got really good players to be able to run what the schemes that we want to run. I mean, our kids do a great job of working hard, not just game week. Like I said, it's a year-long deal. Off season, summer, and throughout the season, and our kids do a really good job of just developing and trusting the process to get to this point.
That's right. Coach, your offense was also very, very solid. Your quarterback, Bryson McCoy, was 21 of 25. That's unbelievable. For 263 yards, 4 touchdowns, 6 different receivers. 3 different receivers caught a touchdown. Purefoy had 2, Wagner had 1, and even Roberts had 1, so that was awesome. And then Wimberly had 1 there at the very end.
He ran a touchdown.
That was a lot of fun as well.
It was. Offensively, I know we've talked about it. We've got playmakers at the skill positions. Yeah. We're explosive. The front line did a really good job of keeping McCoy clean for the most of the night. Our rushing attack was just good enough. That's one thing that we've got to continue to improve on. But McCoy, he's had such a really good playoff. He's had a really great season overall. He's been able to take that extra step in the playoffs, and you just see him play with so much confidence and poise is the biggest thing that I'd like to say. Southside did a really good job of trying to bring different pressures, trying to be disruptive, and McCoy did a great job of seeing what he's supposed to see and delivering the ball to who he's supposed to deliver it to. His incompletions, he threw a couple balls away, and then he had a drop pass, and maybe one of them was an incompletion, but like a true incompletion. But you look at his playoff season. That was game number 4 of the playoffs for him. Yeah. He's been really, really impressive. His completion percentage has been really good. He's putting up the numbers. He's just been really, really efficient. And Friday night against Southside was the biggest game of his career so far, and he handled it really, really well, and just was very poised throughout the game.
That's right. And he's only a sophomore.
Only a sophomore.
And that just tells you. I mean, he's starting like this.
And he's a young sophomore.
Oh, yeah?
He turned 16 years old in the middle of the season, so
wow.
He's a young sophomore.
I mean, a 15-year-old coming in to run the Arkadelphia team, turning 16 in the middle of the season, really running the state for the 4A.
That's right.
Pretty awesome. But, Coach, I want to go ahead and go into the Southside highlights from this past week. You got about 12 minutes worth of highlights. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to talk about here. Let's talk about, first of all, playing football in December. That's always what you want to do. Yes, I said it's Christmas time, but it's still football time. Let's talk about playing football in December.
Yeah. They deferred. They elected to kick to start the game, and so we got the ball. You'll see it get kicked. Had a decent return. It's one thing that we feel like we got really good opportunities in the return game. We've not just had a ton of returns this year, but we feel like we've got the playmakers to be explosive in the return game. Hoping that's one thing that we could do this week in the state championship game.
Coach, let's talk about defense. First of all, you started right here, kind of on offense.
Yeah, offense went 3 and out really quick, or wasn't really 3 and out, but we had just a bad mesh point with the quarterback running back, fumbled, Southside recovered it and had good field position. Our defense met the challenge. Right. I mean, it didn't matter where they got the ball in the field. Our defense was fired up and ready to play. You see them playing with a lot of emotion, a lot of energy, and we always want to do that defensively. Ended up turning them over on downs.
We say on the broadcast a lot, me and Jeff Fruit, the play-by-play guy, and I do the color commentating on Friday nights, but we always say you want to play with emotion but not be emotional.
That's right.
Talk about how huge that kind of was for this game.
It was huge. You want to be controlled. You got to play with emotion to play well, right? I mean, you've got to be able to bring energy. You can't be timid. But we want to play with controlled emotion. We want to play disciplined football. We knew that Southside, they're an emotional team as well, and we knew that we had to handle ourselves the right way and just be poised in the moment. And I thought overall our kids did that.
That's right, Coach. Let's go ahead and just talk about the defense for a while. Defensive line just dominant this game, and it was unbelievable. Multiple sacks, multiple tackles for loss. Skylar McClure playing just very, very sound football right there at the defensive end spot, being able to squeeze that tackle, ripping under the guard and making huge tackles on a very good running back as well. Let's talk about your defensive line.
It all starts with the defensive line, just being disruptive, being able to be aggressive in the run game, defeating run blocks. They did that really, really well Friday. Our linebackers behind it fitted also, and even though if our defensive line in the run game isn't the one making the tackle, they're fitting it right, or they're doing their job enough to where the linebackers behind them are fitting it really well and making the tackle. In the pass game, our defensive line did a really, really good job in the pass rush Friday. And that was one thing that was really good to see moving on from Dardanelle, where our pass rush wasn't as good as it has been. But I think we sacked the quarterback against Southside 10, 12 times. I mean, it was really impressive.
Pretty awesome. Coach, your linebackers, let's just go ahead and talk about the rest of your defense. Just very sound football. Obviously held them to 0 points until the very last play. They kind of just chunked it down there. It was the end of the game anyway. But talk about the rest of your defense. Yeah,
the secondary did a really good job Friday also. We knew that we couldn't give up explosives in the pass game. We knew that if the runs didn't get fit right up front, that our secondary had to come play, and they did. But the biggest thing with them was not allowing explosive plays. You know, the highlights that you're looking at right now is the offense. Our offense did a really good job of creating explosive plays. You know, we talked about McCoy already being efficient and how efficient he's been in the playoffs. The type of skill players that we have at the wide receiver and running back positions, and you see it on display. You know, our guys are attacking space really well. McCoy's doing a great job putting the ball where it's supposed to be, and the skill players are going and getting it. And you know, that's one thing in big games. You've got to create explosive plays, and we did that.
That's right. I always believe if the offense creates explosive plays and your defense creates takeaways, I mean, that's just a recipe for success.
That's exactly right. From a defense perspective, you know, an explosive play would be like a tackle for a loss or a sack, and then obviously a turnover.
There were plenty of those.
You know, and there was plenty of those. So both sides of the ball being very explosive. What you're seeing is on the screen is Xavier Williams, junior defensive end, just really getting up the field. He's so fast. He's so athletic. I mean, he can dunk a basketball. And when you've got a defensive end that can dunk a basketball and as part of the kickoff unit, you know how athletic he really is. And so, you know, you just saw him right there, timed the snap count up really well, got past the tackle and got upfield for a sack. I mean, it's really impressive.
I mean, whenever I was defensive end, I weighed 250 or 60 pounds, and I wish I could dunk a basketball like X. So he's already doing better than I am. He's awesome. He's had a great season this year, man.
Yeah, he has.
Even on kickoff, he is literally the fastest dude I've ever seen.
He gets down there really, really quick, and you know, he's either making the play or he's opening it up for somebody else too. And so he's so explosive.
All right, let's talk about the offense. Let's go a little bit in depth here. We haven't talked about, I know we talk about them a lot, but let's go more in depth into the offensive line. Coach, I mean, they just had a great game. They protected McCoy pretty well, actually, and with McCoy completing 21 of 25, obviously there's a recipe for success there. Let's talk about your offensive line.
Absolutely. They did a really good job of keeping McCoy clean for most of the night. You know, Southside was going to bring different pressures. They were going to bring blitz from different areas. And so the biggest thing that we had to do in the pass game was identify where it was coming from. And I thought our offensive line did a really good job of that and seeing it, just seeing the whole play over the course of the night.
Coach, your receivers right here, it looks like it was Orion Roberts catching the football right there. So many weapons on this offensive side.
Yep.
Talk about specifically Orion first, and then we'll go into the others.
Orion's one of those guys that we've seen him be so explosive. A lot of times he's the one catching something short and then making it happen with his legs and breaking tackles. But right there, he was able to use his speed and just get behind the defense, and McCoy was able to put the ball in a great spot and let him go get it. We've got 3 receivers with 10-plus touchdowns on the year, and that's really impressive as well. You know, McCoy finished the night, Friday night. He threw 4 touchdowns, I believe, and he's at 43 total touchdowns on the year. And, you know, that's where you get the 10-plus touchdowns with 3 different receivers.
Coach Braden Wagner, I mean, I feel like that's all I have to say with this dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he
does
is
it all,
unbelievable. He does it all, offense, defense, special teams.
Yeah.
But specifically, let's talk about offense and Braden Wagner.
Yeah, Braden Wagner, just talk about the explosiveness. You know, that's who he is. He, you know, when we need a big play from somebody, he's able to step up and make that play. You know, and then he's been such an aggressive yards after catch guy also. You know, he's trying to fight for more yards and get up the field and get extra.
Another big sack right there. I think that was X.
That was
once
Xavier
again.
again.
It was Xavier again.
Kind of looked like the same play as before. Just that ball gets snapped and he's up the field so fast and trying to get pressure on the quarterback, and he's so athletic and quick. It's hard for tackles to get to him.
Coach, this is how the first half ended. A big hit. A lot of emotion going into the locker room. Y'all were up. They had a 0 on the scoreboard. Y'all had a lot of points on the scoreboard. Talk about how just your mood going into the locker room during halftime and coming into the third quarter really changed the game.
Yeah, you know, 21-0 at half. Very excited. Defense is really playing well, keeping them from scoring. You know, one thing that we didn't really talk about was a field goal block. That was huge.
Yeah.
Braden Wagner, we talked about that. Braden Wagner came off the edge and blocked a field goal, just keeping those points off the board. Just, again, explosive play in the special teams, creates momentum, created great field position. It's just huge. And, it was just a really good team victory overall. I mean, defense playing well, offense was efficient, and then explosive plays in the secondary.
And talking about just that kick block.
Yeah, here it is.
Right here, Braden Wagner. I mean, wow.
Yeah, I mean
just not allowing any points in the game, especially just even if it's 3, a lot of teams take not just a ton of pride in special teams, but Arkadelphia, y'all practice this a lot, don't you?
That's right. Ben Chandler's our special teams coordinator. He's our linebackers coach, but he's our special teams coordinator, and he's in charge of getting all of our special teams ready and the scheme of our special teams. Does a fantastic job. I mean, he's one of the best special teams coordinators in the state. But our guys are always ready to play. He's always got a really good scheme prepared for the game, and our guys do a really good job of implementing that scheme and taking it to heart. And we take pride in special teams. We know it's a way that you can win games, create momentum, create field position, create points.
Very true. We just saw Jay Purifoy score a touchdown right there. Talk about Jay a little bit this game.
Yeah, he had a couple big catches. He started the game off with a big touchdown catch, and then we just saw another one. He didn't get to touch the ball as much as he typically does, but when he was there, when we needed him, he was there. A lot of different defenses try to key on him. They find different ways to either bracket him or double cover him, and so we've had to be unique and find different ways to get him the ball, and he knows that's what he's got to get. He's going to get something different every week. Somebody's going to try to take him out of the game plan for us. So that's why we got to keep moving around and doing different stuff to get him the ball.
That's right. Coach, it was good to see Blake Moody come back at the running back position.
Great.
That was a lot of fun. He is just such a physical runner. Talk about Blake.
Yeah, Blake Moody, junior running back. He injured his hand earlier in the year, about halfway through, and so he's been out. He's had his hand casted up. He's moved over to the defensive ball for the latter half of the year and is finally fully cleared to play without a cast. And so
awesome.
With a cast, you're not really able to hold a football really well, but you can go tackle and do different stuff like that. So, this was his first game without the cast. It was really good to get him back on the offensive side of the ball, and he made plays. You see him right here making a catch out of the backfield. As you can see, his hand feels really good now. He's able to catch the ball out of the backfield. He held on to the ball really well in the run game. Explosive runner up front, did a really good job of opening up holes for him, and put us in good field position to score. And then senior defensive tackle, Keeson Wimberly, we got in our heavier set, handed in the ball from the fullback spot, and he was able to get a touchdown on his last game in Badger Stadium. It was awesome.
Yeah, that is really awesome. Just senior, it's your last home game. It's your last home game.
Yeah.
And getting a touchdown like that is really, really cool.
Yeah, really cool.
We saw the celebration there at the end just for a little bit, but you got your ticket. You're going to the state championship.
Right.
How do y'all feel?
Oh, we're excited. I mean, we've been so close. The past 4 years we've been this was our third time in the semifinals. The previous 2 times we were not able to continue on to this week. Just came up short in hard-fought games against good opponents. But it feels so good to get over that hump, to make it past the semifinals into the finals week, and we're so excited. Now we're excited, but we're hungry still.
That's right.
It's do or die. I mean, this is what we've been waiting for and working for.
Yeah.
We're excited about the opportunity, and we're ready to seize the moment.
That's right. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit as well. But staying on Southside, let's talk about the players of the week from this past week. And your player of the week is the Braden Wagner.
Yeah.
Let's talk about him.
Braden Wagner had a great day on offense. Multiple catches for almost 100 yards, touchdown. Defense had multiple tackles. I mean, he was one of the leading tacklers. We had a lot of guys with high number of tackles.
Yeah.
But for a regular any given night, I think he had 8 or 9 tackles. That's pretty good from a DB spot.
Yeah.
And then also had the blocked field goal, and then also had some really good returns in special teams. So, I mean, Braden Wagner overall, he's our player of the week.
I mean, whenever you can be productive on every single
unit.
in every single unit
Yep.
of football, I mean, obviously you're doing something right.
No
So
doubt.
we hope and pray that he continues to keep
That's
doing
right.
it just for one more game.
Got one more
That's
game left
One
in
more
him.
game in him. Let's talk about the Badger Spirit Award winner for this week.
Yeah, our Badger Spirit Award winner is Greg Vardaman. Just a longtime supporter of Badger football. You know, the past couple of years he's been really consistent and just being so supportive of us in very different ways. Same thing this year and this season. You know, it's been a couple summers now. He likes to come out and give our team watermelon during the summer. He'll come out a different night or a different day and give popsicles just to let our team know that he appreciates us and show some support. And then also throughout the season, he does he sponsors a lot of our breakfast. We do a team breakfast every game day, Friday morning, and he sponsored the majority of the breakfast. And just a small token to say thank you and just being our Badger Spirit Award winner this week.
And that is very big for a program.
It's
A lot of
huge.
people don't get that, especially breakfast in the morning. I mean, from a player's perspective, I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
It's a big thing. It's a big deal. And, you know, we have a lot of support.
Yeah.
Our football program is very well taken care of. Just the community. Our senior moms do a really good job of helping out and getting things organized and set up for us. And it's just a big process, and there's a lot of people involved. And, you know, we just want to say thank you any chance we get.
Well, let's look at the results from the semifinals this past week in the 4A. Arkadelphia defeating Southside 35-6, and Elkins and Mills 33-22. And I think you know what that means. The state championship this Saturday at noon. It will be Arkadelphia versus the Elkins Elks. And Arkadelphia will be the home team this week, which is also a very big deal. But talking about Elkins. It's time. Mm-hmm. This is what we've been waiting for a year now. Yep. You've done summer ball. You've done spring of last year. You've done just this season. I mean, you started at the beaches at DeGray. I've seen some pictures, and this is what you've been working for, Coach.
It is. It's a long time coming. The last time that these seniors had an opportunity to make it to this week was their sophomore year. Last year they didn't get an opportunity to. So this, you know, we finally got over that hump. We're in the state championship game. Elkins is a good team. We've got to play really well to win. We've got to be prepared. We're excited about the opportunity and being this far, but we want to win it. There's one thing to make it there, and that's another thing to win it.
That's true.
And so we've got to be prepared. We've got to be ready to play. We've got to seize the moment.
That's right. Playing Elkins, they're a good team, spread team. They got a lot of good athletes, good coaches as well.
They're coached really well. Coach Watson does a really good job over there. Just with everything that they do, defensively they're very sound. They're physical. They tackle really well. Offensively, they're very dynamic. They're really good at the run and pass. They've got a good quarterback. They've got a good running back. They've got good skill players around them in the offensive line, and they're also good at special teams. You know, typically we don't see as sound of a special teams unit as what we'll see this week with Elkins. So that'll be really fun to go against another team that takes special teams really serious.
That's right. Well, Coach, just some details for the championship this Saturday. This is a really big deal. I don't know if people quite understand, but this is at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock this Saturday. It is at noon, not the normal 7 o'clock time. It is right there in the middle of the day, 12 o'clock. Any details the fans need to know about tickets or anything like that?
Yeah, so the Arkadelphia Facebook page is going to be posting more information moving forward, and the more of the information that we get. So be looking out for that on the Arkadelphia Public Schools Facebook page as well as the website. You know, Claire Mays does all of our media stuff. She'll be posting that kind of stuff out within the coming today or the coming days. So be looking for that. We'll kickoff's at 12:10. We'll be on the home side, gate 7, and we're excited about it. There is a clear bag policy, so there won't be any colored bags able to go in. I think all that stuff will get posted out there, and just be looking for that on the social media sites.
Yeah. Well, if you can't make it, we hope that you can make it. But if you are anywhere in Arkansas and you want to come support the Arkadelphia Badgers please come out to War Memorial Stadium this Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to see two very good teams facing off. It's going to be some good football, some fun football. And Coach, just anything else on Elkins before we?
Hey, they're a good team.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a state championship matchup. And,
there's a reason that both of y'all are here.
That's exactly right. The top two teams in 4A are going to battle it out in War Memorial, and we're excited about the opportunity and the matchup. It should be a fun game.
That's right. Well, Coach, if they can't make it, you can watch the game on your local Arkansas PBS station in the state of Arkansas, or on myarkansaspbs.org to watch the game online. If you're outside of the state of Arkansas, it's available via pay-per-view on the NFHS network. There you go, a little tongue twister right there. Dr. Jeff Root and me and I guess, my goodness, looky there. Dr. Jeff Root and I and the normal crew, Chris Babb, Coleman Callan, and all the people will be there. Dr. Rothwell as well, Jim Rothwell. We will have an audio-only broadcast on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com and the Mascot Media app. And with that being said, we'll see you on Saturday at the state championship at War Memorial. Go Badgers.
Go Badgers.
Inside Badger Football is brought to you by Bell Wealth Services, Welch Funeral Home, Wingfield Properties, Southern Bancorp, Southwest Sporting Goods, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Taylor King Law, Trinity Temple Assembly of God, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone CPA, South Central Connect, Java Primo, Southwest Auto Group, R&T Dixon Enterprises, Ludwig's Bakery, the law offices of Gina White, Patterson Federal Credit Union, Batson Signs, Print Mania, Scott Bird DDS, Sexton Law Firm, Chad Kesterson Shelter Insurance, Chicken Express, Pediatrics Plus, and Providence Veterinary Care. Inside Badger Football is produced weekly by the Rogers Department of Communications at Ouachita Baptist University and the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.